If you could give our viewers some tips how to stay mentally fit, just things that we can do on a daily basis to make sure that the way we look after ourselves, our body, we're working out on a treadmill, we're on a certain kind of a diet, we eat at a certain time, we sleep at a certain time. Some things that we need to do every day to make sure that our sanity levels are in check. And all of us need that at some point or the other.
The most important two aspects. One, support system. And two, basic joy of living. Bring humor in your life. Bring creativity in your life. Enjoy the moments. Enjoy the successes and the downside. But most importantly, invest in relationships. I think if nothing else, COVID has taught us that all that matters is people around us. It's our connectedness with each other is where our mental fitness is all about. Because when we struggle, we'll need the support system. When we are doing well, we'll have somebody to celebrate. At the same time, positivity, a good belief system, problem-solving attitude, healthy lifestyle, say no to substances, have a good sleep-awake pattern. Once we are out of COVID, do a decent digital detox as well and go out there and, explore the world. So relationships, humor, enjoyment, breaks, productivity, positivity. That's how you keep your mind fit.
And there's also one more problem of social media. There's too much of social media conformity that we're seeing amongst youth as well. I have to look a certain way. I have to, do a certain thing to be able to feel accepted. There's so much of mental stress that ends up causing a lot of anxiety that causes in the youth as well. How would you advise them? And also social media, the other problem is twofold. That many people who are trying to seek mental health care professional on social media somewhere getting trapped with so many quacks that are available all over Instagram and Facebook and wherever you go. These are the two issues with social media. How would you think that today we can resolve these issues?
I'll add one more issue, which is negativity. Understand this, and this is especially for all you young people listening. There is a digital self, which is a portrait self. Not your true self, but what you are portraying to the world. And then there is a real self that you are. The portrait self and the real self need to be as close to each other, and you shouldn't care at all about how people think about you. That's when your portrait and real self become the same. Likes don't matter, views don't matter, how many followers are there don't matter. You should be able to like yourself, and until you do that, social media would be a pressure on you. The moment you accept yourself the way you are and you don't worry about the feedback, social media is fine. The second component about, it's like fake news. How do you know whether a news is fake or not? You try and understand the source. Is the source verifiable? Is the information coming from a knowledgeable person? Same here. So if somebody is saying that he or she can solve your mental health issues, you would check what the credentials are. I mean, if this person was saying that they could solve your cardiac problems, you would double check. So whether it's a cardiologist or a diabetologist or a mental health practitioner, check it out. And the third one, which is I think the most important thing, stop the negativity on social media. I think trolling or negativity and cyberbullying are amongst the saddest reflections of our times when it comes to social media. The only way to solve it is you bombard social media with positive messages. Positivity needs to drown negativity, because it's that positivity which stays in our environment, in our social milieu, which can decide upon whether we feel good about ourselves and the society or not.
When we're talking about youth, and this is a youth summit, so we have a lot of youth that are tuned in and listening to you at this point of time as well, whether they want to admit it or not. From you as a psychiatrist, how would you deal with the substance abuse problem as well? We are seeing a lot of kids, younger ones, getting addicted to whether it is cigarettes, whether it is alcohol, whether it is other substances as well, which are banned as well. But somewhere, they're not being able to cope with their anxiety. They're not being able to talk to their parents. Don't have the wherewithal to see a mental health care professional. And what happens is they get into this whole entire world that they create of their own with their loneliness and substance abuse. How can one battle that? It's such a big problem.
Substance abuse needs to be seen like a problem, and that's it. No justification. It doesn't matter whether your friend suggested, It doesn't matter because your role model does that. It doesn't matter because you saw that it's a cool thing on media. It doesn't matter because somebody gave you faulty information that, oh, because it is legal in the city A, it's okay to have in city B, or because somebody tells you it does this positive impact on you or that positive impact on you. That's all not true. Substance abuse has the potential of taking over your life.
Hmm.
And the most important thing for a young person should be you control your life. But when you take a substance, the substance takes over you. So you say no every time, no matter who is offering it to you. And if you can't say no, go and seek help. If you think you've got habituated, go seek help. Transparency, openness, communication. Talk to an adult, parents, or a professional. But you say no to substances. It's your life that matters.
That's absolutely true. And a lot of youth today are complaining about loneliness because in this age group, when you have 5,000 social media, Facebook friends, but in reality, you don't have those many. That is a big problem that they are battling with today. And all of them complain of, most of them rather, complain of loneliness as well. And what would you have to tell them? Do you have to tell them that who is not lonely, or are there any ways in which one can cope with that kind of loneliness as well?
You're absolutely right. We create a false perception about our own social milieu and network by looking at a number of followers on social
Mm,
media networks and handles. That's not
mm,
the truth. The only thing that matters is people with whom you can share, talk, grow, enjoy. And
mm,
that happens in your physical personal space. Yes, during these
mm,
times, it'll be digital, but then let
mm,
it be video conversations, lots and lots of conversations. Conversations over texts, always.
mm.
Words over emoticons, always. Right? Always. And physical meeting over all other forms of meeting, always. And that's how you develop a bond. That's how, so even today, for all you young people, who are your best friends? Your school friends. Because you spend genuine good time with them and that lasted with you. But for the
Mm.
young generation, make friends at work because we'll end up spending a lot of time at work. So make sure that you have a solid support system at work. And that's the only thing that matters. Friends with whom you can talk to, who are available to you, not who are at some distant follower list of yours, that if you were given a face test, recognition
Mm.
test of your own friends or followers on your own handles, you would probably miss out recognizing most of them.